I choose a spy who sticks out everywhere she goes. Really sticks out, because she's a supermodel walking a pet cheetah. Because no one is going to suspect she has pictures of German airfield locations under her skirt, or messages for the British intelligence written in invisible ink on her sheet music. Josephine Baker was born into poverty in St. Louis in 1906. She stole coal from the Union Station train yard, where she played with other kids. She witnessed the St. Louis race riots firsthand, and would recount the memories of the burning buildings from childhood. At 8, she worked for a white woman, sleeping in her cellar with the dog, and getting up at 5 to peel potatoes and do laundry, before walking to school. That is, until the woman plunged 8-year-old Josephine's hands into boiling water as punishment for putting too much soap in the laundry. Later, she earned a whole $1 by winning a dance competition, put on by a traveling caravan, and was hooked. She took job after job dancing, often being turned away because her skin was too dark. By 1922, Josephine had arrived in New York City, just as the Harlem Renaissance was beginning. The blossoming center for African American culture was where Josephine rubbed shoulders with other prodigious African American talents. She performed at the Plantation Club in Harlem, dancing to bands led by Duke Ellington and other jazz legends. She left the U.S. by the age of 19 to perform as a dancer in the music halls of Paris, where her success grew astronomically, and she became a jazz-age sensation. Dancing, singing, and acting in films, she became Europe's highest-paid entertainer. Ernest Hemingway called her the most sensational woman anyone ever saw. The poet E.E. Cummings described her as beyond time in the sense that emotion is beyond arithmetic. She became the toast of Paris, and every artist there, from Pablo Picasso to Jean Cocteau, wanted to meet her. She was the most photographed woman in the world leading up to World War II. Still performing during the war, in a packed house, she met a young man who claimed to be a German deserter. She undertook her own investigation and then reported him to a French officer named Abbati. He conducted his own investigation, and the young man was quickly discovered to be a German spy and quietly hauled off by French police. Later, Abbati was attempting to set up a secret continent-wide communications method, but the Germans had placed severe travel restrictions on men under 40. How was he to accomplish his mission if he couldn't move freely? The answer came to him in a memory of a superstar wearing feathers and lace, whose charm helped uncover a German spy. Captain Jack Abbati was a secret agent for the French. He went to meet Josephine and found her scrounging for snails in the garden to feed her ducks. Josephine loved animals, had a pet cheetah, monkey, Great Dane, mice, ducks, and more. And though the cheetah made her conspicuous, often escaping and jumping into the orchestra pit to harass the musicians, she was in a unique position. When travel was severely restricted, she could move freely, performing all over Europe. Abbati hoped Josephine could use her charm and beauty to gather secrets from starstruck diplomats at embassies, nightclubs, and exclusive parties without race and suspicion. And if all the attention was on her pet cheetah, trying to attack the musicians, maybe no one would notice that she had written on her hands notes of what people had said. Josephine's answer to Abbati about becoming a spy was, "France made me what I am, the Parisians gave me their hearts, and I'm ready to give them my life." She was given a crash course in espionage, including how to use a pistol and a cyanide pill in the event of capture. The first major secret she obtained was from a loose-lipped, devoted fan who worked at the Italian embassy. She informed the French of the details of the alliance between Italy and Germany before anyone else knew. Later, Josephine flew to Lisbon for performance and carried dozens of classified documents and intelligence, all written in invisible ink on her sheet music, which she passed to the British embassy in Lisbon. She smuggled documents to Charles de Gaulle and the French Free Government in exile in London. French, Spanish, and German officials crowded around Josephine, desperate to see, feel, touch, and bask in the radiance of her famous smile. She was never caught. Josephine passed on information from her time in North Africa, including area tides, beaches, and enemy defenses, all attached to the inside of her bra with a safety pin. These notes helped the Allied amphibious invasion of North Africa. Then Baker fell ill and was bedridden for more than a year in a hospital in Morocco, in Casablanca's Comte Clinic. Her sickbed became a rendezvous point for spies to drop information, as arriving visitors gave their best to a bedridden performer. Following the war, she was given a blue auxiliary lieutenant's uniform and returned to Paris a hero. She was the first woman to receive France's highest military honor, the Cross of War. In 1963, the famous Josephine stood alongside the young upstart, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Though now eclipsed by Dr. King's famous speech given that day, Josephine also spoke, recounting her own experience of prejudice, saying, "You know, friends, that I do not lie when I tell you I have walked in the palaces of kings and queens and into the house of presidents, but I could not walk into a hotel in America and get a cup of coffee." She's one of the world's first superstars, a generational talent, a pilot, a spy, a war hero, a civil rights activist, and a mother to 12 children. This is the unbelievable but true story of supermodel, singer, and spy Josephine Baker. If you watched the whole video and enjoyed it, would you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button? My goal is to get to 1,000 subscriptions by December. I would really appreciate your help.